Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, we should pass Happy New Year. I already did a New Year's video, so if this is my first video though that you're watching of the New Year, Happy New Year. We are in mid-January, and so I hope the year has started off wonderful for you. I know a new year is a start of a lot of new beginnings for a lot of people. Individuals make New Year's resolutions and set goals, and whatever that looks like for you, I hope and pray that this year is wonderful for you. I said on my last video, 24 is a big year for me in so many ways, and I'm sure much of what will come I will share and find, bit stories kind of tie into the topics that I share with y'all today. But today I'm going to get right to the title and then just kind of work backwards, because a lot of times I put the title in the middle. But today's video I'm entitling Listen Up, okay? Which I want you to do. Listen up. And this one, like my topics, the way they come about, it's really random. There's times where I cannot think of a thing and I have to really stop and center myself and focus and listen and pray. And then there's other times where I might just be doing something random and boom, the topic comes in my head. And that's kind of how this one came about. There was like, I hadn't been thinking about it before, and it was literally just within an instant, it was listen up. So I sat with it for a few minutes. So I'm going to give it my best go on what I feel like I should share with you. But we live in a day and time where I often call it noise. There's a lot of noise, and noise, when I say that, is lots of opinions, lots of advice, lots of just people saying a lot of things. I struggle sometimes with the YouTube thing, if I'm being completely transparent and honest, because there's this huge part of me that wants to help people and to guide people, to mentor, to share wisdom and knowledge and things that I've been through to help somebody else so they don't have to kind of suffer through the things that I suffer through. But I'm not big on social media, and so it's kind of like I need to step into the 21st century and make sure that I'm utilizing the resources that we have, because that's just where we are in society. But I also am private to a certain extent and don't really want to be out there. So I say that because I'm kind of adding to it, right? I mean, I have a YouTube channel, and it's my goal is to keep it positive and to share things that help somebody. At the end of the day, that's what it's about for me. So I'm not immune, and I'm not excluding myself from that. But at the end of the day, there's a lot, right? So we have to kind of filter and sift through, first of all, what's accurate, what's correct, what's positive, what's not, what's just flat out wrong, and all these sorts of things when it comes to where we're getting information, advice, all that, right? And so to me, it's important to have boundaries, to kind of sift through, to monitor. I've shared this time and time again that there's a few days in the week, Fridays and Sundays, where I absolutely do not listen or check the news or anything like that. I just need a day to kind of step away from the negativity, right? Because that's essentially what the news is, right? And so who are you listening to? That's really what I'm getting around to. Again, just because social media is not my thing per se, even though some of you are finding this on my social media, but if you see that my social media is just full of my videos, but and again, nothing wrong with that if that's your thing, but who are you listening to? Are you listening to social media? Are you listening to your girlfriend? Are you listening to your guy friend? Are you listening to your cousin? Are you listening to and I'm not stepping on any toes here, but are you listening more to a pastor instead of listening to God, right? There's a difference. Are you listening to, are you getting your marital advice from somebody who's been divorced 8 times, right? Who are you listening to, right? Are you listening to that biased news source that's just one-sided, right? Are you listening to, somebody who's just negative all the time? They, freshly painted wall and it's brand new, but they see the speck on the wall. Are you listening to that person for your advice? Are you listening to the person who, they're, I always got to be careful because it's not in a judgy way, but their life doesn't scream like positivity, but they're giving you all the advice, right? Who are you listening to? And I think a lot of times, I got one more, hold on. When it comes to you setting goals and you have a dream or something that you want to do, whatever realm that's in, whether that's spiritually, whether that's professionally, academically, going back to school, doing a certain type of job, growing in your faith, whatever realm that relationships, right? Whatever realm that falls into, who are you listening to? Where are you getting your advice from? And if you're sharing that information, is it like you're sharing it to somebody who's like a dream killer, right? Who are you listening to? And so the remedy to that, I think, is this: to listen up, right? I share all the time, my YouTube channel is a mixture of who I am spiritually and who I am professionally, right? As a person of faith, I always really have to compartmentalize, right? I can't take that into a classroom in a public setting anyway. And not everybody is like into sociology, right? So I just do my best to kind of blend them together and find the best of both of them that can help any person, no matter where you fall, right? And so I think, though, no matter where a person falls spiritually, where they fall professionally, relationship-wise, I think it's the same thing. I think all of us should be listening up. For me, listening up means I start blocking out all the noise. I stop listening to all the unsolicited advice. I stop listening to social media. I stop listening to the news. I stop listening to all of that. And I listen upwards. I listen to what God has to say. God, what do you want for my life? Relationship-wise, academically, professionally, financially, every aspect. I ask, what do you want for my life? And if it's not something good for my life, remove it from my life. That for me, that is listening up. I often have to quiet myself to get into that space to get that guidance that I need. Listening up can also be listening to a mentor or somebody who is in I'll say stronger, not better, but a stronger maybe position than you, right? We all have room for growth in every sector of our life, right? I get a little nervous when I run across people who feel like they can't take advice from somebody else, or that they're at a point where they already know everything and that there's nobody that they can listen to. Those people scare me just a little bit. And so, but essentially that's mentoring. When I mentor my students, right, they're listening up because I'm further along than where they are, right? And so that is my words of wisdom for you today. I hope whatever space you're in, whether that's a good space, bad space, you're just trying to figure some stuff out. Maybe it's time to get into that space where you listen up. Whatever listening up looks like for you. For me, it's quieting myself, asking God, what is it? Who do you want in my life? Who do you not want in my life? What job do you want me to have? All of those things. For me, that is listening up. So ask yourself, figure out in what space you need to listen up. I hope that helps somebody. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, and continue to have a wonderful brand new year. And I will see y'all on the next video.